Have you noticed these days that there are many developers trying to put a 1950s theme into their games? You got Resistance, Mafia 2, Fallout, all trying to squeeze some of the innocence of that era. Now, there's only one game that really sticks out in my mind that seems to have done it pretty well, and we're going to review its sequel. Get ready for Bioshock 2. The first Bioshock was an awe-inspiring first-person shooter. Not only was the gameplay unique, but the world of Rapture was one that just really wowed gamers. So it would seem that the sequel is just as good. Well, for starters, it's made by different developers, and they've taken away the original protagonist of the first game. But the big question is, did they improve upon this Game of the Year title? Indeed, they did. So let's take a look. Bioshock 2 continues 10 years after the original, where you control a big daddy who's looking for his stolen little sister. The new villain of Rapture is just as deceptive and crazy as Andrew Ryan, and those fans of the original will feel right at home here. Rapture is still a mess, but there's new enemies, new weapons and plasmids to find. A cool new feature is how you can adopt little sisters in the game, and it's managed to build on this weird relationship with many clever moral ambiguities. Bioshock 2 has given everything a little touch, and those features of the first that were annoying have now been fixed. Hacking's much easier, you can dual wield plasmids and guns, and it's a much more fluid experience. The Bioshock realm of fear and wonder is again realised here, but it does lack that sense of amazement of seeing Rapture for the first time. But still, it keeps what was good and improves upon it. Like I said, the first time you experience the world of Rapture, it's quite unforgettable, but the second time round, it still looks pretty. This is easily one of the best settings in any modern day game, as it blends strong colours into dark scenery beautifully. The idea of a city underwater is brilliant, with broken pipes, water running down the stairs. It's all a mess of chaos and 1950s paraphernalia, but the art direction is unparalleled. Splices themselves look insane, and they're sure to scare the living milk out of you with their rage-induced movements. The little sisters and big daddies have that pleasant appearance about them that can turn savage in an instant, and the shadows and lighting is superb. As with most great titles, the sound design here is fantastic. You'll hear the heavy steps of your character on different surfaces, sounds and conversations of enemies ahead, and the many trickling sounds of water in the background. Voice talent is superb, and you're able to listen to a bunch of journals here again as you pick up more elements to the story. Plasmids and weapons look and sound cool. It's all here, and travelling underwater is another surreal experience. Being a big daddy, you'll have a relatively more bulky feel about your character. You have a drill for starters, but you'll soon grab your first gun, an electric plasmid, to rampage with. You'll need to scrounge bodies and look for health and ammo is still key as you follow prompts from strange Rapture citizens, and the game has that eerie tone to it again. You'll have to deal with other big daddies as well, but afterwards you can adopt these little sisters to search for bodies to gain your own Atom from. You'll need to protect them from harm as they obtain it, but after that you can either harvest or cure them. There's also big sisters out there who torment you and are much quicker and dangerous. You'll constantly run out of ammo trying to beat them, so you'll soon discover you'll need something else. This is where hacking becomes a necessity. It's much quicker and easier than the first, and there's a lot of risk-reward gameplay to it. You'll be able to upgrade weapons and plasmids at shops, and there's a great sense of progression in Bioshock 2. It may not have been necessary, but there's also a multiplayer attached to it, which works well. Shooting plasmids and gunning down friends is as fun as any other shooter, with a standard leveling system and interesting match modes. Overall, Bioshock 2 creates some solid improvements over the original, which makes for a smoother, more enjoyable experience. It's great to jump back into Rapture with Bioshock 2, and it's a vast improvement over the original. It may not have that sense of wonder and amazement that you experienced in the first game, but the refined gameplay controls and good story make this a thrilling sequel. It's easily one of the best first-person shooters out there, and I give it a 9.27 out of 10.01. And if you haven't played Bioshock, go do it right now. Essential.
Now, take the pistol. Place it against your head. 5,